So Lavaine, tell me about the relationship with the person you lost.
I'm gonna tell you guys about my granddad. We were very, very close. It was my granddad on my dad's side. So I used to not get to see him all the time because they lived really far away. So obviously, like, I grew up and I lived just outside of North London, and my dad's family live in Plymouth. I got to see them like a couple of times a year, but we used to speak on the phone and stuff. But we always had like a very good relationship. Like, we always got along. I think it was because in part like he was so close with my mum, and like my mum and I are very similar. So we used to bond a lot over like school, and I was always very interested to like learn about the things that he'd done in life. So like, he'd been in the Navy. He was a professional clockmaker.
What do you miss most about them?
I think everything, honestly. I didn't. He's only been gone for maybe like a year and a half now, but I didn't think I'd forget his smell so quickly, and like just what it was like to be in his presence. Like, he had so much like personality and life in him. Like, he was always a very like funny person. Like, he had a very dominant personality, so like he was the kind of person that like you always really felt his presence in a room. So I guess I just miss like him, like not even just like the little things, like it's just him. It's like it's everything really.
How does this loss impact your day-to-day life?
I think in the last year and a half, like with being at uni and stuff, like I've achieved a lot and I've really pushed myself. And I think the hardest thing for me is that I don't get to share things of him anymore. I'm very conscious of the things that I miss out on telling him about.
What was your last interaction with him?
It was not a nice one, to be honest. He was on his deathbed. So my granddad died because he got hurt. This was back in 2020, I think. But where he was a clocksmaker, antique restorer and stuff, they had a lot of antiques in their house, and he had like walked into, and he ended up injuring his leg on this like brass, I don't even know what it was just like a huge, like a bucket almost. And it got really infected, and then he was kind of in and out of hospital. And it was a really bittersweet weekend because it was a weekend we drove down to collect my dog. So we just bought my dog Jasper off my dad's sister's boyfriend, and we were staying at my grandma's house, and my granddad was in palliative care, like in my grandma's living room. So they had like a hospice care bed like set up, and like they had like nurses in and out, and he was gone. Like, at this point, like, he couldn't really stay awake, he couldn't really talk. When we left that day, we were like driving home, and I had this like new puppy in the back of the car, like sat next to me, and I was just crying my eyes out to my dad, and I was like, I wish I took a picture with him, like, because he's gonna be gone. And he did pass away 2 months later, and my dad was like, you don't want to remember him like that. And like, I really try not to think about how he was the last time I ever saw him, because it was horrible. Like, it was one of the most awful things I think I've ever seen. Like, I couldn't. It was horrible.
What was your favourite memory with them?
The last time I ever saw him like well, like actually healthy, and it was right before COVID happened. So it was December 2019, and we'd all gone to Plymouth for my grandma's 80th birthday, and I have a video of him like doing a speech at her birthday party, and basically saying like how grateful he was that he'd become part of our family, and like how like much he loved my grandma, and how much he loved all of us. And to me, like, that literally was like the last time I saw him well, like before he died. So
what were they like as a person?
He could be very firm. Like, he was firm, but he was very, very like loving, and he was always so like proud of us. He achieved so much in his life. Like, he was like a Rotary Club president, he was in the Navy, he was a scout troop leader, like he even did work on Big Ben. He just achieved so much, and like, even though he'd done so much and like had so much to share, he was always very like humble.
What is his smile or laugh like?
He had like a really lovely smile. Like, when he was with my grandma, like, they were so in love, like, and he was always smiling. I don't really remember him not smiling, to be honest. you could tell he was very grateful for the life he had and like the people he had around him.